All right, so what we're going to do now is look at inequalities. So before we start, I need you to remember a few things about inequalities. So you need to remember, if I have the less than or equal to symbol, this would be shaded below because it's less than. So you need to remember that. Less than, below, less than, lower, etc. All right. If I have greater than or equal, this would be shaded above. Greater than, think about it. If I'm greater than something, I'm above the rest. So less than symbols are shaded below, greater than symbols are shaded above. You need to remember that if I have a less than or a greater than symbol, these would be dotted lines. Dotted lines. If I have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, this would be solid lines. So these are the notes you need to remember. So let's go ahead and look at the symbol. This says y is greater than, that's what I'm paying attention to. Let me erase that, maybe highlight it for you. Y is greater than 5x plus 3. Greater than 5x plus 3. So it says greater than or less than. Well, I'm saying in the name, this is greater than. Would it be shaded above or below? So if I'm greater than something, would I be above it or below it? I would definitely be above it. So that would be shaded above. And then it says, would it be a solid line or a dashed line? So if I go and look at these symbols over here, I don't have an equal to line underneath it, so it's going to definitely be a dashed line or a dotted line. All right, let's look at the next one. Or first, let's see. It says 5x plus 3. This is what your shading would look like if you need an example. So I've got greater than. That means I have an uphill slope because my slope is positive. I need to be shaded above, and I also need a dashed line. So it literally look like this. Got a dashed line going through. I would be shaded above. And if this was my x-intercepts and y-intercepts, ignore that right there. Let's say, about right there. This is what it would look like because this number would have to be 0,3 where I start. So I'd be shaded above. I'd have a dashed line. My dashed line would look like this, going through it. All right, so now let's look at this next one. It says y is less than or equal to 5x plus 3. So less than or equal to, I'm saying it in the name when I say it, that's less than or equal to, less, lower, less, below. Solid line or dashed line. Okay, well, this one has the equal to underneath. It has this equal to right here. So that would mean I need a solid line. Solid line. So let's see. If this was my x-axis and my y-axis, my slope would be starting at 0,3. So maybe about right here. I would have a solid line. I have a positive slope, so I'd be going uphill. And then I would need to be shaded below. So it would look something like this at the end of the day. Remember, my starting point would have been 0,3. My slope would have been down 5 over 1 or up 5 over 1. All right, these last two right here. We've got to graph the inequality. So it says x minus 3y is right now greater than or equal to 6. So what I need to remember to do is take this x and I need to move it to the back. But remember, I want to keep y equals mx plus b slope intercept form. So when I move that x, I now have negative 3y is greater than or equal to what I do to one side, I do to the other. So how I move this would be doing the opposite, which is called the inverse operation. So I would be doing a negative x when I switch it to the other side. So this is going to be negative x plus 6 because that's what was already over there. My next step is to get y by itself. It's like solving for y. So I need to get rid of this negative 3. I need to divide everything else by the negative 3 as well. All right. These cancel out. And remember, when you divide or multiply by a negative, you've got to flip the sign. So I'm going to put that over here. You multiply or divide by a negative, flip the sign. Very important. So if I'm looking at this right here, I have a negative that I'm dividing by. That means I need to take this symbol and flip it the other way. So now that's my new symbol, less than or equal to. So now I've got y is less than or equal to -1, because that's what's in front of this x that I know is there, but I can't see. -1 divided by -3 would be a positive 1/3 x. And then 6 divided by -3 would be -2. That means this is my slope. I'm going to go up 1/3 because it's positive. This is my y-intercept. That's where I'm going to start. So I'm going to start at -2 on the y-intercept. And I need to go up 1/3. So let's see what that would look like. If I go up 1, and then over 1, 2, 3, my next dot would be right here. Do the same thing again. I would go up 1, 1, 2, 3. The next dot would be somewhere over here, but it's not craftable. Then I need to do the same thing going down. I go down 1/3. 1, 2, 3. My dot would be here. So now I need to pay attention to my symbols. Is this symbol right here above or below? Okay, well, this is less than, so I'm going to be below. Is it also going to be solid or dotted? Well, I have the equal to symbol underneath it. So that means I need to have a solid line. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the screen so it's not in the way. I know the dots that I'm using. I have a solid line going through these dots. And I also need to shade below. Shade below. That easy. All right. So now I have this right here. Y is less than 3. This is already solved. My y is by itself. So now I just need to pay attention to this sign. Less than. That would be below. And it's not an equal to. So I know that it's going to be a dotted line. The number that I'm going to start at is 3. So I need to be starting at y is less than 3. Y is less than 3. So I need to go to where 3 is. 1, 2, 3. Here. I told myself I have a solid or a dotted line, sorry. I'm going to draw a dotted line going through it. And then I also said that I need to be shaded below. That easy.